Laugh and Learn, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, I am one of your hosts. I am Flame Monroe, along with my partner.
Hi, I'm here. Partner / audio engineer that's fixing everything.
Lauren Hogan is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
And we have been on the move. I'm sorry we haven't been in studio for like 2 weeks because we've been working.
Shut.
And we're back, and Kendall is back, and Sky is here, and you all are here. And the internet, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram is on FIRERRRR. We'll get to that. Lauren, where you been?
Oh, Lord, where haven't I been? I went to Florida. We kind of talked about that last week. I went to Florida, had a Florida AIDS Walk concert with Jessie J, Deborah Cox, phenomenal. Then I was home for 48 hours and had to go to Vegas to do a site visit for an upcoming partnership we're doing for my other job with NABJ, which is actually going to be very exciting. And then I finally got to come home. And I've been home for like, 2-3 days. It's been nice.
We've been on. Look, I was in Austin, New York, Chicago. New York was fantastic. Austin was fantastic too. Mm-hmm. So everything is going smooth. Now we're back in the studio. Kendall is here. Kendall, say hello to the people. Y'all ain't heard Kendall's voice, so y'all had to hear Kendall's voice so y'all know that he's here. And we're glad that you guys came to join us today because everything is a glow. But we're going to start in Florida since Lauren already talked about Florida because y'all know we're going to close with the Oscars.
Are we going to start there? Okay.
Well, we might as well because you said Florida.
That's fine. We can start in Florida.
And so what happened in Florida recently?
What didn't? There's two things that happened. We can start with what happened today, and then we can backtrack to what happened last week with, their dear old governor, Ron DeSantis.
A.K.A. Patrick from SpongeBob.
Yeah, so Ron DeSantis today officially signed the controversial Don't Say Gay bill. He signed it into law and held a press conference around it and had preschool children and like kindergarten children surrounded him and making them clap and applaud this bill being signed into law. So
and that is from kindergarten to third grade,
Third grade, yes. Kindergarten to third grade.
Which is utterly preponderous, just preposterous. It's just ridiculous. It is just not going to be a safe space for young kids who identify as something different from what we consider the normal. So if they having strange feelings and they have nobody to talk to, they have no outlet at the school. It is or a counselor or what have you. It's just gonna be fucked up.
I'm laughing. No, Bobby Clifford said that he had them as bodyguards. That was funny.
Baby, it's just ridiculous. But what's the other bill he signed?
Well, last week he also signed a bill into law requiring high school students to complete a financial literacy class before they can graduate, which I actually think is a good thing. And that's why I'm a little concerned, like, what's the real intention behind it? Or maybe it's a smokescreen because it's still Ron DeSantis, you know what I mean? So although I think the bill is going to be great, I think financial literacy should definitely be taught in schools. It it teaches you about investments and how to balance a checkbook, even though we don't really use checkbooks anymore. But just how to balance, it's accounting, different things like that. It teaches you how to invest. So financial literacy is very important, and I think that it's great. It's a statewide thing that he did. But I don't know if maybe he looked at some demographics in terms of, black and brown folks and realized that maybe, these people, this demo is not going to really pass. I don't know what the intention behind it is. It's something good, so it's got me a little weary.
With his track record and how scam artist he is, he just gave out something good to try to smoke screen something bad that he did because that signing that bill said don't say gay bill, that's kind of fucked up. So
kind of?
He just trying to balance it off. I believe that.
Yeah.
I do agree with you about financial literacy because I wish I had have known more about financing when I was young. Right. But like you, you can't do nothing for me now because everything I think now that you do has a plot or a ploy. There's an overplay for the underplay. I don't trust you, so you fuck my trust issues up. So I don't believe in you. Yeah. And Florida, I need y'all to follow suit. Don't believe it. But the Don't Say Gay bill is very, very scary because I know Texas is trying to do, but they stopped it in Texas, right?
No. They stopped it in Georgia.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, we'll see how things play out because most legislative sessions are like coming to an end anyway right now, at least in the southern states. But it did not get any traction in Georgia. They basically said, hell no, we're not doing this.
I was going to say, do y'all know how many gays is in Georgia? Good God.
Well, or down low gays.
That too, shit. It is tragic, and I'm telling you, if we gonna march, if my community gonna march on that against that, I'm all in for that. I march against that. I'll
Well,
stand
there's
with
been
that.
several protests.
Yeah, but
about
those
it.
are people from Florida. I'm talking about when the big wigs get involved and say, let's have a rally. Everybody come from here and there, from near and far. I'll go march for that because that is near and dear to my heart because that's the youth. And we need to try to really do as much as we can for Generation Z because you do know that Z is the last letter of the alphabet. Oh, okay. Where are we going after that?
Well, no, I'm trying to tell you, like those marches they've been happening.
But
like,
but just for people in Florida?
No, like national? Across the country, okay. Yeah.
I ain't got the email.
Especially because, Disney's CEO, Bob Chapek, I think that's how you say his last name, he came under scrutiny for his, remarks.
Turn my volume up, Lauren, please.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. My volume is a little low. Is that better?
Well, no, because you be complaining it's too low.
It do. Oh, see, that do be loud in my ear.
That's what I'm saying.
That's okay. That's better. I can hear me. Can you guys hear me?
But no, the Disney CEO has come under fire, and Gabrielle Union has actually come out, and because she just did the Cheaper by the Dozen movie, she spoke out publicly against the Disney CEO. Hell, Raven Simone, she had her whole cast and crew walk off set filming behind, because basically the Disney CEO said this isn't my problem, kind of thing, and the Disney actually backed a lot of Republicans that sponsored the bill.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing. I said this before. There are some things that we should be fighting over and some things that are just not as important to me as a part of the LGBT community. That is very something that we should be fighting for because it's going to help the youth. All that what bathroom I can use. Baby, if I got to pee and you in the way.
Yeah, we know you're going to pee on somebody.
I will piss. You will be a pissy as hell fucking with me.
we know.
So those are not that big to me. But this is very important because the youth need an outlet, or the suicide rate is already high, especially during the pandemic when people really had nowhere to go and nobody to talk to. This is just going to make it explode. And in kindergarten, you may not know how you identify or how you feel. But by the third grade, you can know that you feel different from other little boys or little girls. And you need somebody to talk to just in case you can't talk to somebody in your family or somebody, your mother or father. Because I hate to say this, but in a black household, I only know black. Sometimes it's safer for you to say that you're an axe murderer or a rapist than it is for you to say that you're gay or trans. And that's screwed up, but it's the truth.
I think it's a matter, too, of just allowing kids to have outlets. I think all kids should have, like, a creative outlet. Kids should also feel like they can have a safe space outside of their house if they don't feel as though it's a safe space.
Yeah.
So if you don't give, kids ways to express themselves, creative outlets, different things like that,
you're
setting them
sometimes.
to fail.
Yeah. And
yeah,
sometimes
you know what I mean?
they explode. Speaking of explosions, did we watch how fantastic those Oscars was last night? We wanted a black Oscars, and God damn it, we got it. I am not making jokes about it because you know what? We all see something different. Let me start with the good before we get to all the other shit. Can I just say that Amy Schumer and Regina Hall and Wanda Sykes did a great job hosting.
Yeah.
And that Amy Schumer was just funny as hell to me. She
was the one that you was talking the most.
That I was like, well, we was a little shaky about, but she really delivered last night. And Regina Hall, oh my God, that joke that she did about the pandemic when she was petting all the fan being down, I thought that was hilarious. Yeah, it was good.
I always knew Regina. I mean, like I said, I've seen Regina Hall do other award shows, hosting them. She's a phenomenal host. She's funny. She's authentic. She's genuine. She always lands in whatever she's doing. But overall, it was really good, though. It was.
It was over. Questlove won an Oscar.
Listen, I was so happy for him.
Wow.
I mean, the events leading up to his Oscar win was, a little wild.
We're going to get to the wild.
I'm just happy he won an Oscar for a documentary film about, the Summer of Soul, which was about this historic festival that happened in Harlem for black people. You know what I mean? This was probably one of the more diverse Oscars that I've seen in terms of award wins and overall representation. Just the, actual run of show was just beautifully done. So kudos to Will Packer.
Yeah.
It was really good. It was a really good show.
And that's who we cannot put to the side on this. Will Packer produced this. And this was the second time a black man actually produced the Oscars. The first one was in late.
I think this was the first time.
No, it was actually the second. They mentioned the guy's name, but it just didn't get a bunch of hoopla like Will Packer's got a bunch of hoopla.
Oh.
And so we want to just acknowledge that Will Packer put on a great show. It ran pretty much smoothly until the slap heard around the world. But let's talk about the fashions. Lauren, who was your favorite dress?
So I have actually two favorites. My top two was Beyonce and Laverne Cox. Those were my favorites.
Beyonce, in the yellow.
Yep.
Okay, so my top two last night was not actually a lady who was not part of the Oscars, but she was on the red carpet. She was interviewing. She had on a black tulle ball gown and had like the rouging over the shoulder. I thought that was absolutely beautiful. And you know who else surprised me last night? And I loved her dress.
Who?
Rosie Perez in the red.
I didn't even see her.
I've never seen Rosie so beautifully done because she usually, you know how Rosie
can dress though.
But Rosie was beautiful in that red dress.
I didn't see it, but I mean, I'm not surprised. Rosie could always dress. I mean, she was a little, she was a little bit of a thug missus, but she could always put an outfit together.
Last night she was very classy and lady. I did like the youth of Zendaya with the shirt and the skirt.
Zendaya always come dressed
because she's so young, and she looks like a very young me. When I was like 10 years ago, don't say shit. Just why she always got to say something. See, they passing out slaps. I'm about ready right now. Speaking of slaps, so Chris Rock came to the microphone last night to introduce or to present for somebody. He was
the presenter for that segment of the award show.
And he made a joke, which was not very offensive towards
what?
Well, it wasn't very offensive, but I think it was the build-up that he kept attacking.
Oh, no,
Jada.
It was very offensive.
You thought it was very offensive?
It was very
I
offensive.
thought that Chris, because I know Chris's record, and Chris can go there with material, but the joke was, we'll see you at the next G.I. Jane movie. I didn't think that was very offensive, but he has been making and jabs at Will and Jada for so long, and I think that it was a build-up, and Will just got up, walked on the stage, and I'm telling you, I had me a Love Lounge Lovely, so I was with God. So I'm looking at it in real time, Lauren, and I'm looking, and I'm like, wait a minute, am I tripping? Because I think I was reenacting it in my head. I didn't think that I was actually watching Will Smith slap Chris Rock, but he actually slapped Chris Rock on live TV at the Oscars, and like, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. And I was like, whoa. So when I was watching it live, they muted it, and then they had a little interruption or what have you. They also had an interruption on Venus Williams because her nipple was showing. Whoever dressed Venus Williams, your stylist should be fired because that's double-sided tape. That's real easy. As a stylist, you should know that. And everybody has their own segue about it. Everybody's saying this, everybody's saying that. Let me tell y'all how I feel about it for Lauren, because Lauren coming at it a whole different way from me. Let me tell you how I felt about the situation. As a black person, that is not his woman. That is not his baby mama. That ain't one of his side pieces or his dips. That is his wife for 20 years and the mother of his children. I understand how he felt, and Will Smith, as much as we want to make him a superhero and I Am Legend and all of these movies that he played, Muhammad Ali, he's an actor, but he's also a man. He is flesh and bone. And I think he had just had enough, and we don't know what kind of day he had, the pressure of the Oscars. We don't know what Jada was going through with her alopecia that day. I'm not familiar with how alopecia affects people, period. So we don't know what was going on, but the fact that black people keep saying, oh, why he had to do it at the Oscars, why he had to do that, they do it at the BET Awards. If we going to hold each other accountable for the shit that we do, we got to hold each other accountable for wherever we do it. And like your mama would tell you, if you show out on me, wherever you show out on me at, I'm going to show out on you. Baby Will had enough, and he went up there and slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. Chris Rock was professional. He kept his composure. He did keep his composure. But I love the fact that he defended his wife. He stood up for his wife. Now, do I promote the violence? No, I do not. And as a comedian, it makes me like, damn, bitch, what can I or can I not say? But as a comic, you don't stick on one person. You stick and move, stick and move, stick and move. Chris Rock rode Jada and Will for years, starting with 2016 that we know publicly. We don't know anything that happened privately. But I do think this will play out. And what spoke volumes to me was, had I did that, because in my D lists, they would have escorted me out the building. The mere fact that Will stayed, and when they called his name to win the Oscar, which he did win the Oscar, they gave him a standing ovation. That spoke volumes to me. And I know Lauren has a different opinion. I don't condone it, but I respect it. As a man, as a man who does not have a wife, that's why I never get married, because I want to defend nobody but the girl in me. I'm not defending nobody else, just me. I get it. Come on, Lauren.
I think that Chris Rock's joke was highly insensitive and very disrespectful. Jada Pinkett has said publicly that she has alopecia, and for any of you guys that are confused, it's not old age. She's not balding. That's not the situation. She has alopecia, which is a disease. I have family members that also have alopecia. It wasn't funny. It really wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
It was not funny. And for him to say that, it was, like I said, it was highly disrespectful. He was wrong. However, at the same time, I don't agree with Will Smith walking up on stage and slapping him in the middle of the Oscars. And truth be told, Will laughed at first when the joke came out. I think when he looked at his wife and saw that she was offended by it and it hurt her feelings, and I'm sure they've had conversations about what she's going through and the insecurities behind losing her hair, because she said it publicly on the Red Table Talk. I'm sure when he saw her face, that's probably what enraged him. And he was like, don't do that to my wife. I don't think that it was necessary for him to go up and slap him. One thing that I learned is that saying nothing sometimes is much more loud than doing something. He could have given him the death stare of his life, and Chris Rock would have known, when we get backstage, me and Will about to have words. That's how he could have handled that. Instead of, it was a night for him too, but he was also representing the Williams family. And for you to do that, not only did it discredit the work that they were a part of and their family legacy, but you also put yourself in a position not only to be sued for a civil lawsuit for assault, because LAPD is now involved. I know Chris Rock declined to supposedly press charges, but you just tarnished a really good night. It wasn't necessary at all. There's a time and place to do everything. And people want to talk about, you mentioned, well, the BET Awards, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, boo. The BET Awards ain't the Oscars. I'm so sorry. It's a different audience. And it's not even about, oh, don't show out in front of white folks. That's not what it's about. It's not. It's about the narrative and the stereotype and the stigma that's related to the black community and the fact that we can't act right in certain places. That's what it comes down to. And there's a time and place to do everything. That was not the time and place. He could have had a conversation backstage and cussed Chris Rock's ass out behind that and given him the biggest death stare from sitting in his seat. And it wouldn't have taken away. It would have just added to his credibility as an actor. It would have added to the fact that he knew how to keep his composure. And it would have just simply highlighted his work.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground was where I spent most of my day.
I'm so sorry. And
that nigga say I'm West Philly for real.
And I've seen reports too that they're talking about trying to strip him from his Oscar now.
Yeah, but you can never take the glory back. He still won. Even if they take the Oscar, you could never take the glory back of that night. And the ratings will be the best Oscars they had in a fucking 20 years.
I don't agree. That's the same situation when they stripped Reggie Bush from his Heisman Trophy. I'm sorry. They still talking about that. You can take awards away from people, and that causes you to discredit your career. I think this will forever be a stain on his career.
Will Smith is worth over $400 million. I'm sure he don't give a damn. Okay. And the fact that they still stood up, the fact that they still stood up for him when they called his name after the fact. I'm telling you, Hollywood is not done with Will. And I think that this will be a great launching pad to reintroduce Chris Rock's career. It's not like his career had went anywhere, but he had been a little low key for a while. This will be great for him because they may end up, Hollywood gonna bank off of this. They may make a movie in the next 2 or 3 months. They may make Bad Boys 4 and Chris Rock gets to smack Will Smith in the movie and all is forgiven. You know what I mean, Lauren?
I think
you know how Hollywood is.
Hollywood
you work behind the scenes in Hollywood.
I know. I get that, but I'm just saying there's a time and place for everything. Like I said, Chris Rock was wrong and so was Will. They were both wrong. They both were.
Yeah.
I still think Chris Rock should apologize to Jada because I'm not trying to pull the black women card, but I'm about to. It would be nice if we stopped going after black women's appearances in public spaces. It would be really
it was
nice.
A black man disrespecting a black man's wife in a room full of white folks.
Thank you. It was not appropriate.
But do you think that Will should have apologized to Chris?
No.
See, now we agree on that because everybody was like, well, he apologized to the Academy. Exactly. But why would he apologize to Chris? Chris didn't apologize. After he got slapped, Chris could have said, oh, my God, I'll stay off your wife. I'm sorry. He didn't. I think he was a little shook up. He was a little dazed, real talk. But if he should have apologized publicly first and then, but it had already went.
I don't think that he needs to apologize. I just think that he showed his ass. I'm sorry. It was not necessary for him to do that.
You know, every woman in that audience, and including the gay men, baby, everybody panties and underwear was so wet. Because I'm telling you right now,
I've seen a lot of people supporting him and saying that, you know, they've and I will definitely acknowledge that them as a couple, they have been through a lot.
Yeah,
they've been through a lot.
Yeah,
and I'm sure they're like, we are tired of it. We're at the end of our rope. So he might have just lashed out. You know, emotions might have been running high. But still, dude, like you even told when we talked about this last night, you was like, you know, he is one of those prominent black figures in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You still, not to say you have an image to protect, but you're still a role model to a lot of people. And it's not to take away from the fact that he's human. Yes, we are all human. And I know men, when it comes to your wives or your kids, y'all are the brigade. Like when something jumps, you just know it's about to be a problem. Same thing with my dad. My dad might have done the same thing had he been in the situation.
Yeah.
But still, like there's a time and place for everything, and it wasn't necessary. You can say so much without saying anything.
I love that Will was unbothered. Will went to several parties after the fact with his wife and hung out and had a good time.
He was dancing to his own music at the Vanity Fair after party.
I thought that, and Tiffany Haddish gave the greatest statement. She thought a lot of women, black, white, or indifferent, will look at that like, I wish my man, my husband, would stand up for me like that. I agree with you. It could have went a different way at a different venue, and it could have been handled a different way. But you just said it again, Lauren. Nobody knows what they went through. They've been publicly out. Laverne just put them on blast a few weeks ago. They've been all over the media.
Shoot.
Right? Imagine if that would have been her. But Laverne, a big bitch, she might have got with Will. She about big as Will. But Will had baby, he went straight Muhammad Ali. Boombaye. I'm telling you right now, I went live immediately because I was half edible, and I was in shock. So I can only imagine, because when Will was walking to Chris, Will almost had like a smirk on his face. He didn't look mad like I'm walking up to you to punch you.
That's the worst kind, though.
Yeah, that was a sneak attack. You ain't see it coming.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd have been okay if he sat in his chair, looked at him crazy, and then proceeded to yell, like, keep my wife's name out your... that would have almost been acceptable. You didn't have to put your hands on Chris Rock.
Oh, Lord Jesus. I want to host the Oscars next year. They had 3 women this year. They need the he, she, we. That's 3 people next year. But I promise you, my opening joke going to be, I ain't saying nothing about nobody's wife. My boxing skills ain't up to par. You know my ignorant ass gonna say something offensive, but fun. And I'm not holding Chris's feet to the fire. Neither am I holding Will. I hate that this played out as us as a black people.
Holding Chris's feet to the fire.
I'm not hating on this as black people, but Chris Rock as a comedian, you got to know you have to stick and move like a boxer. You can't just ride one person all the time. Like you in the room, you never know what somebody's day is like, what somebody is going through in their personal. So even when I'm on stage in a room, if I get one joke in with one person, I'm going to turn around and make it funny because I don't want you to be offended and run up on me. Now, as a comedian, this scares me because now what can we or can we not say that's going to trigger somebody?
No. I don't agree with that because it's about being a comedian. Do your research. I'm so sorry. That's part of y'all's job.
Well, I'm good at self-deprecation, so I don't even go after the audience. I'm better with me.
No, I'm not saying you specifically, but I'm just saying being a comedian, part of your job is to read the room.
Right.
And to know, if you want to go after somebody, do your research. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's part of you guys' job. So Chris been in the game too long, and y'all got past history with the Smiths of you coming for them. Even it was that 2016 clip where he came for both Will and Jada, talking about, Will, you wasn't even invited to the Oscars, so Jada, you need to shut up. Like, it's been brewing.
I think it was the $20 million statement that got Will.
And I summarized it. There was a couple of digs, in some of his past commentary, but I'm just saying, you got to do your research. And if you want, and I would assume that there's acquaintances, maybe friends. Chris was on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Shoot, they've known each other for a while. So, and why are you coming for her?
Right.
Why?
You've been off the scene for a minute. It's so much more that you could have talked about. You love to say that you're politically savvy. You could have went politics. You could have did something.
Anything.
But you didn't have to do that.
But you had to go for Jada, really?
Yeah.
And her hair being bald. And I mean, I'm sorry, I can't imagine.
And she looked beautiful. Let's say that she
did.
Still looked beautiful.
She looked
with the bald
gorgeous because everybody can't shave their head and look cute. Let me tell you.
I was having very back flashes of Stoney. Remember she was Stoney
Set
It Off when she cut. Oh my God, Ooh, I was in the house rubbing on myself.
Yeah. I mean, and people want to say, like, you know, he's not watching Red Table Talk. Okay, sure. But I also don't believe that he lives under a rock and don't know that she got issues. And I'm assuming that they're acquaintances, friends, something. Like, I can't believe that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You get information about celebrities you're not even looking for.
Right. And I don't like the fact that everybody's attacking Will. Oh, baby, Will is flesh and bone. He is only a man. He is not a god. We have seen him be the Hollywood's black golden boy and making all these great movies. He says the right things. He does the right thing. His career, you never hear much scandal about him. But he is still just a man. He's human and he has emotions. And we don't know what how this pandemic has affected everybody differently. We don't know what his life was like in them 2 years that he was stuck in the house or whatever he was doing. We don't know. We saw him out vacation and all that before the pandemic, but we don't really know. And this pandemic has affected everybody different. He could have been at an emotional boiling point, and last night was just the icing on the cake, and he snapped.
I think, this is just my opinion, I think he probably saw the hurt and disgust in Jada after the joke was made, and that's what set him off. I think that's what it was. Because he, like I said, he laughed at first. I saw the camera. Yeah. When the joke came out, Will laughed. Yeah. And then when he looked at Jada, and he was like...
And she rolled her eyes like...
She rolled her eyes and was like...
She gave you the black woman at the welfare office. Yeah. Here goes your PEBT card, but we're going to mail you the PIN number.
That she did, and it's like once that happened, Will was like, "Oh no, like you hurt her feelings. I gotta go say something, or better yet, I gotta go do something."
And I'm telling you, Lauren, I was so taken aback because how we know Will Smith's character is and who he is as an actor and what he portrays publicly to us. I never thought he would have just went hood like that, but girl, when he did, I was like, oh, in the words of T.T. Jet, I clutched my pearls. The ones at the top and the ones at the bottom.
Well, see, because I'm not going to lie, though. Chris Rock does have a strong chin. Can we address that, too? Because I thought that Will Smith punched him at first. And I was like, there's no way that he punched him and he didn't even, like, lose any part of his equilibrium. But then everybody was like, it was a slap. And I was like, okay, because I was like, does Will Smith just not punch hard?
Oh, because them words was a little twisted after that. He slapped the personality out that nigga.
Yeah.
Let's go on to...
He was definitely a little disheveled and discombobulated
I think he was felt like I felt. Because I was in disbelief.
Like you actually slapped me.
Like I couldn't believe what I was watching. And then for it to happen to you from this person at this venue in front of all these millions of people, that was probably shocking to him. But he did handle himself well. I'm not going to say that I would have did that. Let me just be honest. Yeah.
Oh, I know. That's what everybody's saying too. I'm surprised that like a whole fight didn't break out on stage. Because I don't know about you, but I feel like it's a little more disrespectful if you slap me. I'd almost rather you punch me, because a slap just feels like you just calling me a bitch. You know what I mean? Do you feel the same way?
Just don't touch me at all. Just don't put your hands on me, because I'm telling you, I don't care where we are, who we're in front of, and who's watching. This is only a job. I am a person. Do not put your hands on me, because and the gangster part. Ooh, let's talk about the gangster part. Was that when he did it, he turned around, adjusted his vest, and walked away. Like, I dare you do something. Turned his back to him. Oh my God.
But he almost like smiled though.
Who?
Will Smith. He had a little smirk on his face walking up and walking back. But anyway, let's bring in some of the good old Flamettes and see what they think.
Baby.
And where's Bobby Clifford? That's who I want to talk to.
Oh,
hey, Cassie.
Hello.
Cassie, you want to get slapped?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Where's
not.
Bobby?
And I feel like it was a gangster move. You know, like, you're not going to keep talking mess about my wife, but I also feel like there was a time and a place for everything, so I'm kind of like stuck in the middle.
Hey, Bobby.
Hi, guys.
I want the white woman's opinion. You know, let me tell you something.
That's why I got Bobby.
We need the white woman's opinion, because I'm telling you, Bobby, did you get turned on? Because I know Dame, what's the old broad name, the actress, Dame, what's her name?
She needs a denture.
Yeah, what's her name? Yeah, she missing a few teeth. But I know she was turned on like hell, because good God, it was so gangster when he did. I was like, oh, I ain't never looked at Will like that, but damn.
I was disappointed. I really was disappointed. I thought it took away from what Will was going to accomplish. It took away from the night. This was our most diverse Oscars ever. We had LGBT, we had deaf people winning. It was a wonderful night. And I don't think it was an instant. I don't know if his wife kind of prodded him on, because it wasn't. That was a long ass 5 seconds to get from his seat to get all the way to Chris Rock. The whole time he could have been thinking of something. I would have got him in the bathroom later. I would have, but to go up in front of 30 million witnesses now. So I like he could say, "Oh, I didn't know." I was disappointed because I also feel like we lead by example, and I think so many people look up to Will Smith because he is, the gold standard. I was a little disappointed. We teach our children not to put their hands on people when they're frustrated.
Well,
we no, but that's what we teach them. Whether we
right, I would agree with that. My mother taught me to never lose a fight, and if somebody touches you, to whoop their ass. That's right. But yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bobby.
That's right. So that would have been Chris Rock's position,
exactly,
right, Lauren?
Yeah,
so and he handled himself, I thought, like the consummate professional. Because if anybody slapped me, I don't think he thought that was. I don't think any of us. I thought it was fake at first, right? I thought he just faded. And then when I saw him get kerfluffled, trying to do the next, but just for a pause, and he made a joke of it. So I thought he handled it beautifully. That's this girl's opinion. You got 2 other girls.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hey, so first of all, this screen name, Extra Crispy and Extra Wet. What is your name?
My name is Kirby. I'm one of the aunties, and I'm one of the hosts of Extra Crispy, Extra Wet.
Oh, nice to meet you.
I'm from Atlanta, so it's a wing reference. I'm from Atlanta.
Got you, because Flame's followers be a little nasty, so I gotta just verify and double check.
Everyone thinks that. Yeah. Everybody thinks it's about lady parts, and I mean that could be extra crispy or extra wet, but I'm talking about my wing order, which is typically honey garlic 10-piece with ranch sprinkles.
Okay, well, I might have to stop by and get some food.
Absolutely. I'm making $1 million pound cake when you
look at me rubbing my extra wet right now. I'm rubbing my extra wet.
That's right.
What do you think about the situation?
Well, while we don't condone violence or anything like that over here. I'm definitely not doing that. But there are just some realities around the respectability politics that we have in white spaces, respectfully. Could it been handled differently? Could he have taken, Chris to the back and had a conversation and had a deeper situation? I know for me, if it was my husband, I would have rather him got on the mic and embarrassed Chris that way. I would have dug into the fact that, number one, you couldn't protect your marriage or your wife, which is why you're divorced, because you didn't have the discipline to keep your dick to yourself. Number one, that's the first thing I would have wanted Will to say on there. Number two, talking about that history of the conversations of you joking with us and messing with us since 2016. I'm pretty sure these people have relationships outside of these particular spaces. Yeah.
Hey, y'all, we had to come back. Instagram doesn't like us, so it'd be a problem.
They give us an hour.
Okay, there's Kirby, and then where's CT Jan?
Jan, where you at?
Yeah, CT Jan. Love her. She's been so consistent with y'all.
Oh, there you are. All right. CT Jan, finish your point.
Yeah, I don't know what I was saying, but I think, it was exciting. And I do believe that people need to hold something in your secret drawer. You know what I mean? You got everybody telling everything. And I'm like, why? I don't even know what useful information that is to share. And, Regina did get a joke off on them earlier that evening about possibly having Will checked, and she knew
Regina is a woman, and Regina didn't constantly and consistently go after Will and Jada.
No, I wasn't saying it was a bad thing. I'm saying every time they go somewhere, I'm sure they get this gut feeling we're getting ready to be the butt end of somebody's offset.
A joke, yeah.
Especially after Laverne Cox went there. And she shouldn't have wanted to do that.
Yeah. But I think, too, though, like with Regina's joke, though, it was more, I think it was more lighthearted. It didn't come across as like, I'm trying to take a jab at you.
Right.
Chris Rock.
The 3 hosts were wonderful. I have no proof about what Regina said whatsoever. But I do think that, when she said that sometimes then everybody feels like my joke is going to be equally as funny and I can say this. And Regina was very tasteful.
Yeah.
Very tasteful.
And it was funny. She was just admiring Will as a man. That's what she was just saying, how attractive he was as a man.
Right.
Just like when Amy Schumer made the joke about Jennifer Lawrence and said she gained a couple of pounds. Ain't nobody in the frenzy about that because it wasn't offensive. Chris Rock, like Lauren said, like Kirby has said, you have to read the room.
Yeah.
And it's too much for Chris Rock. Is politically savvy. He's known for his political savviness. You could have went at all. You could have went to politics. You could have went to something else, to the state of the world. You could have joned on Biden, anything. You could have talked about how black the awards was in a positive way, but you chose to go low. And Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. She should have said, when they go low, we slap the shit out you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because that's what happened.
Yeah, that's just what happened. I don't don't sit in a comfortable spot where I can say, oh, that was so bad. Will has already recovered. Chris has already recovered. I do like Will's team because they immediately started rewriting his acceptance speech, and they had him pulled together. Do you hear me? So I mean, that's what money would do, and that's all that was. As soon as he went up there and slapped that man, they didn't wait for a phone call and say do damage control. They immediately went into
well that's what they get paid for.
Well, yeah,
right. That's what they get paid for.
No. Again, I'm applauding. Don't wait for the phone call. I tell anybody, you know, be a self-starter. That's what you're supposed to do. So I think it's uncomfortable, but you gotta quit sharing so much.
That is true too. People was talking about, well, Denzel would have never done it. I was like, Denzel 15 years ago, y'all said something about Pauletta. He would have aired that whole entire building out. Please don't play like that.
You know,
please don't play like that.
I don't think it was a blemish for Black folks at all. It was an incident, just like other things have happened. They don't carry any major weight in the Black community. It was an incident. You know what I mean? If I see somebody acting a fool in a grocery store, it don't have nothing to do with me.
And half the time, I'm not going to lie to you, the status that the Smiths are on, I don't know if Hollywood perceives them as Black anymore all the time.
Well, maybe not.
I'm not sure.
He does get the pass, but if he approached his past as being too cocky, they'll deal with him too. You know. They'll deal with him too.
All these comparisons. Oh, it would have been somebody white. It wasn't somebody white. It was who it was. So stop all that. What he has slapped the white man. The white man tried to kiss him in the mouth on the goddamn red carpet, and he punched the shit out of him. So
he sure did.
He was in France. Oh yeah, he slapped the hell out that little white man. He tried to kiss him in the damn mouth. This is not actually behavior we shouldn't expect out of Willard Smith.
You know what? And I don't have any preconceived notions because I don't see these people as personal friends. They're entertainers. They're supposed to project what they want me to see to keep them in their money-making role. So I don't know if, that's just him. You know what I mean? And I don't know because I was raised wherever you act up, that's where my mother dealt with you at. So, okay.
I definitely been drugged through aisle 3 a couple times at Sam's Club for being foolish in the store.
I want you to know.
This will play out though, on the other side for Chris Rock because Chris Rock has been low, real quiet with his career lately. This will be something major for him. This is going to turn into dollars, not cents for him.
I think he actually just released a special on Netflix.
Well, this is gonna boost his ratings,
right? Yeah, right. I think he literally just released another special on Netflix. They popped up in my little.
Can somebody slap me, please? I need a new Netflix special.
Listen, with all 5
fingers. I just said, be careful what you ask for.
Oh no, be careful that you slap me when I ain't got it in my purse.
Yeah, I gotta remember, flying from Chicago, you know, fuck around and get real windy, being slapped all the way around the world, 360 degrees.
Right,
around the world and
Okay, I can't find my common sense. I don't know why. You get real.
As human beings, as just people, not even color. Everybody has a breaking point. It's only so much that anybody can take, and this has played out publicly for such a long time that it erupted, and I hate the way that it erupted. I hate that it happened at the Oscars. I hate that we finally wanted a Black Oscars, and like Kirby said, it was so diverse. I love that Ariana came on. What's her name?
Ariana DeBose.
She came on and she won, and she talked about being a woman of queer experience and being accepted, and we are making such huge strides. And I agree with you, Kirby. I don't think, Jen, this was not a blemish on Black people. I just think that it showed that some people are human. Will Smith is fucking human. Everybody has emotions. Everybody has feelings. And I think he was offended that his wife's feelings were hurt again publicly. And he just felt like he had to do something about it.
He was so tired. He was so tired. You can hear the Carl Thomas in the background. I'm emotional. And I can't let it go.
And you know, for the music awards, rockers have got up there and purposely, as the group accepted their in their acceptance speech, and done very damaging things with the intent of doing and saying damaging things. So
Ricky Gervais.
Yes.
Came on that stage and said some wild things.
Well, shoot, the Grammys is next weekend, so I guess we might have an exciting show too. So
who's hosting?
I have no idea.
Trevor Noah is. That's why Kanye's been banned.
Respectfully, that's probably not going to be that funny. I love you, Trevor. I love you, baby. Tabitha Brown, I love you.
I don't know. I like Trevor Noah. He has political.
He's
like,
intelligent,
humor,
but he doesn't make me goof off. If that makes sense.
He makes me laugh though with his political commentary, especially when it comes to race and ignorance. When it comes to white people, he makes me laugh. That's what I'm excited for. I think he's gonna do a job.
Can we talk about my boss Tiffany Haddish, who was bomb on the red carpet?
Did you see her check that reporter?
Did you see her check that report?
I got the video.
She said this is a gown.
Yeah.
This is not a costume change. This
is Dolce and Gabbana. This is what success. I say, get that bitch, Tiffany. Box that hoe up.
Tiffany's question. Tiffany said, "How would you feel? What would you want your husband to do?" That little lady still didn't answer her question. I was very tickled about that.
I told you, every woman and gay man in that audience, panties and underwear was soiled. And man, I was at home. Man, both my drawers and my panties was wet.
Yeah, so I had to hang up on Flame. It was getting a little too graphic on the phone last night. Like, I'm hanging up on you.
Baby, Will had did it for me. I was like, ooh, I may not be legend, but I damn sure want to be in that bedroom. Good God.
There's a meeting in their bedroom.
I love what you said, Janet, about it's not a blemish on the Black community. And we have to stop accepting everything that somebody else does because they're a part of our nationality. That has no responsibility on me. That has no responsibility on me. And if I get the opportunity to do that, I would hope that if I'm put in that situation, that I would not react the same. But I am a person. I am a human. I am flesh and blood. I am not a God. So I don't know how I would feel. So everybody giving their comment of what you would have done, you don't know what you would have done because you don't know what he was up against with the emotion of the Oscars. We don't know I don't know the effects of alopecia. Maybe she had a bad day. Maybe they had an argument before. Maybe he was in a bad place. Who knows? But like Lauren said, read the room, and some shit you got to know it's off limits or you're going to get your ass handed to you.
Chris is not the one that's got to hold Jada when she's crying about that every night.
That's right.
Chris is not the one that's got to have them long conversations or deal with Jada coming out of therapy some days, crying about the fact that I'm losing my hair. And this has been something that has been a part of, to Flame's point, my beauty and my vanity throughout my life. Chris ain't got to deal with the possibility that Jada may lose her libido sometimes because she is feeling so insecure and so down about that situation. And her and Will can't even get to the business when they want to. So that's what I'm saying. You got to be thoughtful about those things. There ain't nothing wrong with making jokes. There's nothing wrong with the comedy. But you've got to be thoughtful about those types of things. And maybe, again, like I said earlier, because Chris couldn't protect his own family and marriage and the sanctity of that and didn't have the discipline for it, maybe he don't understand. So that he didn't quite catch the memo in that particular moment.
Yeah. I will say one thing that might be good for comedians across the board is maybe just stop attacking Black women's beauty, and y'all wouldn't have any problems. Yeah, it's just a recommendation.
But Lauren, don't we have to get the rappers to quit talking about us in demeaning ways? Also?
I don't know those people.
Let's one step at a time. One step at a time. Woo,
First of all, let's talk about the fact that most of them rappers can't handle the women that they think that they want in the Black community. Let's say that. Let's go ahead and have that conversation. The women y'all think that y'all can handle, that you want, a ride or die, somebody who's independent, who got their own money, blah, 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 blah. Most of you all can't handle us anyway. So that's half the time I don't even listen to what they're talking about. And the other thing is that they're emotionally unaware and immature. So half the time if you check them about some foolishness in real life, they get all of them teenage emotions and start acting up on you. So I don't, as far as I'm concerned, those types of famous Black men that rap about the foolishness and then let them white boys do the same thing, they don't exist to me. They're not a part of the community. I don't know those people.
That's why all my men got vaginas. I'm just going to call it all my men got vaginas. It's just easier to deal with.
Well, on that note, This has been a robust conversation.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
And before we leave, ladies, I just want to give a prayer up for Will and for Chris Rock and for Jada. And for any comedians out there that I know we sadden with this way or that way, but we have to be a little more leery about what we're doing on stage, because as you can see, they're not patting people down when they come to the comedy clubs. They're not patting people. They're not going through metal detectors. You might mess with the wrong person, and this could be very, very bad. So we have to be just a tinge more cautious, and I'm saying that with my mouth. But if you ever see me laugh, I discredit me before I discredit anybody. I am self-deprecating because I make it fun for me. Some shit, you got to rewrite or you got to re-say in a different way, because I would have been like, oh, girl, if you giving me Stony from Set It Off, I'm ready to get naked.
He slapped him so hard he looked like Pookie from New Jack City. It was bad.
Woo! Did you see those? You know, remember the cartoons where the stars and the moons were circling ahead? Girl, I saw all of them.
Yeah.
I still thought his chin was strong.
Well, his chin was strong, but what helped hide that is because he's dark complected. Believe me.
Father God, we come to you, body bent but not broken. No, you did not.
Yes, that's what
that sounded very racist, Jane.
No, that wasn't racist. It was maybe just a colorist comment.
You know,
there's a difference.
He's dark, and we didn't get the visual with that. But believe me, this morning he is so and slightly swollen as well. I was like, yeah, you've been shook. You know, it's a bad scene, but
I'll never want to get hit that hard.
Yeah. Great, but outside of that, great job, Will Packer. Wonderful Oscars.
It was
great host.
It
ran smoothly. I love that they had a host.
It ran over.
To segue everywhere, of course. Yeah. But I love that they had a host that they had hosts to segue and control and drive the train, because I hate when they don't have a host. I like when they have a host to drive the train.
I did too, and I thought the ladies were good. I thought Amy Schumer, who I didn't want to be there, she did an excellent job. Same.
She was great.
When she came down in that Spider-Man suit, I was like, "Oh, girl, you got some. You know, you a little funny today. All right."
Oh, baby, but that was the biggest Spider-Man I ever seen. Good God, Spider-Man. She was talking about Jennifer Lawrence had gained a couple of pounds.
She lost some weight. You know, life be hard.
Well, she had a baby.
Well, Jennifer Lawrence, she did have a baby.
I'm talking about Amy Schumer had a baby during the pandemic. She had a 2-year-old, right? She got a toddler.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's close to 3. He's a toddler.
Well, that was her baby weight.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing.
I didn't even know she had a baby.
Yeah, she had a baby.
I had no idea. Well, congratulations to them.
Yeah,
right.
Well,
it is.
She made a joke about it.
She did.
Look good for 1 year, 2, almost 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But hey, next year Oscars, you need a person that's fair, that's on both sides of the fence, and that is inclusive. Guess what?
Yes.
Playing for the Oscars, y'all. We're gonna start the campaign.
Yes.
Wait till you see the gowns I wear. Oh my God.
You have to cover some things up.
Oh,
you would have to cover.
This is why I don't fuck with her, y'all. Look at her. I gotta cover some things up. You can all on my shoulder, just Flame. Don't wear that. You can't do it. Oh my God.
But am I helpful? Am I not helpful?
Yeah.
Exactly. You said it was no comment.
You do your job.
Thank you so much.
If I slap Lauren, can I play a woman? Can I play? Oh my God,
I'm slap you back.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've seen some of those beautiful heels that Lauren wear. You better be careful. She might put one in you.
I ain't never lost a fight. Okay, never.
And you know she carries shotguns. I ain't fucking with Lauren.
I got shotguns and box cutters in my bag. I sure do.
Lauren said the hollow points will fly tonight.
Ladies, thank you. You all made this a great show. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you, Flamettes. We appreciate you joining us at Laugh and Learn, because here at Laugh and Learn, what is our motto, Lauren Hogan?
Here at Laugh and Learn, we have a saying that we are not trying to get anybody to change your mind. We are simply trying to get you guys to use your mind. Why?
And in order to use your mind, you have to have your mind. And if your mind don't work, a good slap.
It works.
Don't do the slap.
It works.
No, I'm making jokes about it, but I promise you, please don't go promote violence, because anything could happen. No, something could happen, but tragically, it's bad. But sometimes there is no other way.
I agree with that.
Okay. See,
we can agree on that one.
At 11 Laugh and Learn, we want you to use your mind. Thank you, Kendall. Thank you, Flamettes, for joining us. This will be up on Wednesday night on iHeart under the Black Effect Network or Apple, Amazon, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast at. And we implore you to download the audio because that's what we want. We do this video component for you guys, but we really want you to download the audio so that we can get our check because we'll get a check on YouTube.
And we're gonna have a video this week too, so
something
to look forward to.
Yeah, because the last 2 weeks we haven't had video. We've been on the road, and a lot of that gonna happen a lot more often because Lauren be on the road. My books is picking up. We're gonna have to take Kendall in a suitcase or some shit. So we love you guys. We thank you for the support. We appreciate you guys. Please follow Lauren Hogan at Lauren Hogan on YouTube to follow her page, and at Lauren Armani H on Instagram. I am Monroe Flame on Instagram and Flame Monroe on YouTube, and
don't follow your Twitter.
Yeah, don't follow my Twitter because it is full porn.
Gotcha.
And they got porn that's giving out slaps. Okay, y'all, bye. Don't miss an episode of Laugh and Learn. Listen and subscribe on the Black Effect Podcast Network, iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Laugh and Learn Podcast is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network and iHeartRadio. Our executive producer is Tiffany Haddish. Our theme music is by the one and only Chrissy Payne. Thank you, guys. This is Flame Monroe. Don't forget to laugh, listen, and learn.